debunking propagandas. Now, what is the definition of propagandas? It is a synonym for an advocacy, because a propaganda aims to persuade a person in order for them to agree in a certain perspective, as same of the author. Propagandas can be positive and negative. However, in this topic, I will be debunking propagandas. How? Simple. Propagandas are biases. It is simply focusing on one topic and discarding other topics, because a propaganda aims to persuade a person on a certain perspective, on a certain concept, ideas, theories, whatever, like in order for them to agree on a certain topic. Why did I state that it is biased? Because propagandas will be approaching you in a certain way, which will be proving you a certain point that is focused on a certain one particular side. Since propagandas simply aims to be able to persuade you, they will be approaching you with the sides in why you should agree in a certain ideology, without showing the other side of a ideology that they were presenting. Ideologies can be both positive and negative, as I have stated. That is everywhere. Propagandas are everywhere. It is scary, but at the same time, it can also be beneficial. Communism, capitalists, whatever those are, like all of those things in the businesses area and whatever aspects in your life, propagandas are everywhere. Cultures, traditions, communication, social, everyday communication with one another, even religion. In terms of religion, propaganda sometimes, some religions which proclaims themselves as a religion, sometimes it's a cult, and that specific cult is a propaganda. Everywhere is everywhere. Propaganda is present. Advertisement, propaganda. Why? You are presenting why you need that certain shampoo, why it is beneficial for you. They will use certain popular artists which are attractive, blooming with beautiful hair and good color, skin color. They have like, they are white, they're skinny, they have this idealistic view of beauty, most commonly with women as well. This is also very present in the marketing strategy with the concept of blue and pink. In the 1940s or 1950s, if I'm correct, well, specifically 19th century, I just gonna tell that it is in the 19th century, because it is also a marketing strategy in order for them to categorize male and female. So therefore, they had this perspective that pink is for girls, blue is for boys. It's a marketing strategy that put a toxic ideology in the generations moving forward, wherein pink is for girls, blue is for boys, don't wear this it's for boys, don't wear this is for girls. Wherein in reality, colors have no gender at all. It's a form of expression. That itself is propaganda. We are advertising a specific idea that this must be in a certain way. Propagandas are subjective. However, sometimes it can also be misinterpreted. I'm trying to state that some informations which are not, well, it's not subjective, it is rooted in objective reality. Just like in modern society, where there's a lot of ideologies regarding genders, pronouns, or cultural events, or traditions, religions, it's everywhere. People mistook objective reality for a subjective propaganda. But it is important to acknowledge the different definitions of these these words, because when we are going to mix it up, we will be in chaos. Our brain will be in chaos. Another example that I will be using, which is, well, it's a documentary. It is stated that it is a documentary, but in reality it's also rooted in propaganda. It is one-sided. And I'm talking about a specific mistranslated, quote-unquote mistranslated, the word homosexuality in the English version of the Bible back in 1946, when there has been this documentary regarding that word with Arsenokoi, and like it's a propaganda. Why? They are overly explaining one specific word and completely ignoring the other words in the Bible. With it simply clearly condemns homosexuality. Like in Leviticus, do not lay with your certain gender, you man and a man laying on the bed. It is already condemned. It is clearly condemned in the Bible. But however, of course, society, people have this intelligence where they will try to like flip it up, they will twist it up. They will state that, oh, it's just the word homosexuality in the modern translation of the Bible in the 1946, it is a mistranslation, it is a bad usage of words. Well, it can be, and yes, it is. I agree that it is a bad, well, I would say it's ineffective regarding our modern society, but like, it has a point. However, the usage of words can be overly, it can be easily mixed up. However, just because a certain word has been mistranslated, or it can be used in like, they could have used predators or pedophiles, right? Why use a term that will be having a backlash with the queer community, versus the Christian community? Now, in progressive Christianity, which is, by the way, it's not even Christianity, it's false Christianity, because false Christianity simply refers to a specific denomination that simply contradicts to the Word of God. And that itself, the 1946 mistranslation documentary, is a propaganda, because they overly condemn that word, they overly talk about that word, while completely ignoring the other verses in the Bible just to prove a point that it is not a sin. But think about it. In nature, in biology, a man and a woman will be able to have children because they are a man and a woman, and a man and a man can't have children, and so a woman and a woman. It is a propaganda because propaganda aims to persuade people, and therefore some uneducated Christian people, well, this is common among young fellow Christian people, where they will just state, oh, well, since it is not a sin, then all this time we have been brainwashed into thinking that it is a sin. The Bible clearly condemns it. And there's also a lot of propaganda going on in the modern society, where they claim that the Bible clearly, they say that the Bible clearly supports rape, wherein they don't understand the context of it. This is what we need to be careful about. This is a warning. Propagandas include a lot of false information that we don't even think about the context of it, because we are solely focusing on a specific idea. We are just ignoring the other ones because, well, it's bias. Propagandas are biased. It is focused on one specific topic, which clearly ignores the other. And then they say, well, it's just a form of telling a perspective that is not harmful. Well, let me tell you, propagandas are, a lot of propagandas, it's harmful. It's advertising a specific idea that is not beneficial for all of us, because why? Its ideas are rooted in, a lot of times in modern society, misogynistic values, which is rooted in feminism or whatever those are. Like feminism, for example. There's a lot of subjective propagandas regarding feminism, wherein they state that men shouldn't be what they are, because well, they claim that all men are bullshit. But that is a propaganda. It's claiming that men didn't do anything good for the world around us. But look around you, all of the inventions, a lot of inventions, a lot of writings, a lot of intelligent men exist. And they clearly do not think about those. They don't acknowledge those facts. They don't acknowledge the history of it. Because they want people to think that men are bullshit. That is self-propaganda, of course. You know, those feminine divine, whatever those are, the content, like the gendered content, it is very toxic. It's a propaganda. It's negative propaganda. You need to be aware of that. We're in the feminine aspect of it, in terms of women, they say that, you are loved, you're beautiful, you're worth it. That's good, but there is a toxic part of it, wherein they view men as less of them. But in reality, there's no more or less of us. There's no men are lesser, women are higher, men are higher, women are lesser. No, we are equal. We are equal. You don't even need to be religious to be able to understand this concept. You don't need to prove we are equal just because of a God. You don't need to prove that. You don't need to use that at all. Just need to use basic logic. But people do not understand this at all. They don't understand that we are all equal. At the end of the day, why we all die? We are all humans. And this itself is also propaganda. What I'm telling you is also propaganda. Because what I'm aiming here is to be able to explain a concept and to be able for you to adapt into my perspective. While my words are not solely rooted in perspectives alone, it is also rooted in objective reality. Because I have presented facts here, so it is objective. Because it is facts, right? This is also a propaganda. Propagandas are everywhere. You buy a phone, why do you choose that? Because you watched an advertisement on why you should purchase that specific device. That video you have watched which enabled you to purchase that device is a propaganda. And that propaganda successfully persuaded you because you have purchased the device. That is propaganda everywhere. Propagandas are everywhere. Now I just need you to be aware of what propagandas we're consuming, whether it is negative or positive. You gotta be aware of the negative part of it, because a lot of times the propaganda will be so popular even though it's not even appropriate, even though it's not even beneficial intellectually for the people around us. It is popular even though it's not the objective reality. So let us be aware, let us be sure, and let us be sure. Let us be introspective with what we consume. Propagandas are everywhere. Propaganda